Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my Golf R. Today you join me here back at Martin's VW here in Basingstoke. The car has been in for a little bit of work, initially just a minor service. I'll explain all in a moment, but I ended up having to spend a little bit more due to some issues with the car. So I think what we'll do, we'll start it up, head out on the road, get moving, and I can kind of run you through everything which has been done and just give you a general Golf R update. So here we are then back out on the road in the Golf R. I think, to be honest, as from now, the car will be spending very little time on the road. Now, those of you who haven't seen my kind of plan video for the car, then go check that out, because pretty much now the car is good to go and ready for the stage 3, and then all the rest of the modifications will be cracking on. But just to give you a bit of a run through about what's going on, what I've just done, and basically what I've just had to pay for. So basically, when I bought the car, I knew that I had to do a service. It was saying oil change now, whatever, on the dash, and so that was absolutely fine. So I basically got the price of a service included with the car, so I knocked that off when buying it, and that was all absolutely fine. You may be wondering why I actually bothered to get the car serviced, because when doing a stage 3 package, you basically have to change all the oil anyway. But it was basically just for peace of mind, just to get VW to just have a look over the car, make sure it's all okay, and really just to get a stamp in the book, really. Now, that does sound funny, but I mean, to be honest, this car has full VW service history, although probably when it goes stage 3, QST will be looking after it, but it's just a bit of peace of mind, really. So perhaps a little bit pointless, but something I just wanted to do, like I said, just for peace of mind. I did just go for a minor service, which was, I think, under 300 quid or something. They did the Haldex oil and also a brake fluid change, but the brakes is where there was a lot more money that had to be spent. So essentially what I had to do was get the complete rear brakes replaced. Hang on, let me just join the motorway. I love this car. I absolutely love this car. And it's going to be driven on the limit for probably the rest of its life. Yeah, super excited. Anyway, so yeah, essentially, I think it's a fairly common issue with the Golf Rs, especially ones which are slightly higher mileage, like this one, 81,831 at the moment, is the brakes binding. Now, this was mainly apparent on the near side rear disc. You can see there was some patches of it going blue due to heat, basically. Now, this was made apparent in the visual health check that the technician did back at Martin's. Now, basically, what came about first was a suggestion from the guys to basically strip the caliper down, the brakes down, clean it all off, and check it again in 6 months' time. Absolutely fine, let's do that. Basically, when they tried to basically take everything apart, they realized that there were some parts, I think the pins were seized, and it made sense to do both calipers because both were showing very slight signs of binding, mainly the near side, but the off side was doing it as well. So one side ended up seizing, therefore a new caliper, and everything had to be done, and the off side was, I think one of the pins snapped or something, basically just down to original parts on a very high mileage old car, I guess. So in short, basically the car needed 2 new rear calipers, and it made sense to then do the discs and pads as well, because they were an advisory, they would need doing somewhere in the future. So I thought, why not, let's just do this now, get it done. It needs 2 new calipers anyway, let's just do the discs and pads. Now, some of you guys may be wondering why I've done that, because I'm going to upgrade the brakes for stage 3. Well, actually, that's not necessarily true. I'm doing the big brake kits up front. That's a must. That's going to be happening shortly after the car goes stage 3 in about a month. The rear brakes, I wasn't really planning on doing much to them. I think when the car gets heavily used on track, I probably will, but I was kind of put on the spot, and so I thought, okay, well, the car's not drivable anyway because it needs new brakes. I'm not going to go to the hassle of getting upgraded brakes now and get VW to fit them. I kind of wanted the car done, and so I thought, stuff it, let's just get the original replacements put on the car. So that happened. So we now have some nice shiny new brakes at the back, which is all very nice. It does look very smart, and especially when the car has new wheels, it will look nice and shiny, because the hubs, when all rusty, is a common issue with them. But yeah, that's basically what happened. So it kind of went in for a minor service, Haldex oil change and brake fluid change. When doing the health check, they realized that the near side rear was binding slightly and also slightly on the offside, and so it made sense to kind of clean it off, see if it would go away, and they ended up seizing and snapping. So 2 new ones were needed. Now that's at no fault to Martin's at all, just one of those things. Again, 81,000 miles on the clock, things like that are gonna happen. Like, it's not a pristine 20,000 mile car, and I don't think it's really gonna be any more pristine when I finish with it. But regardless, like I said, just one of those things, and yeah, done and dusted, all ready to go stage 3 now. Actually, speaking about the stage 3 very briefly, Alex at QST has all the parts already. We're basically just waiting on this, because it was a bit of a nightmare actually, because the calipers were on back order from Volkswagen, and I wanted to go genuine. I didn't want to go kind of, not aftermarket, but not, I wanted to go genuine, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And so there was a bit of a wait for that, but we're all sorted now, all good to go. So yeah, like I was saying, Alex has all the parts all ready to go now. He's a bit busy over the next couple of weeks, but basically, as soon as I can, the car will be going in for stage 3. So they'll be doing the turbo, the clutch, the intercooler, obviously the tuning, the mapping, and a couple of other little bits and bobs as well. So it's all getting very exciting, but this is something which I didn't really anticipate in spending to basically have it all sorted. Now, in terms of costs, actually, all in all, in total, including labour, parts, everything, was £1,259.95. So a little bit more than what I was thinking of, the kind of the standard minor service rate of about £300. Again, is what it is, and yeah, that's about it really. I mean, again, not ideal. Perhaps I should seriously think about getting upgraded brakes now. I mean, probably really pointless now. I'm probably going to run them for a bit, but I think if it's something which you guys suggest heavily, any stage 3 Golf Rs out there, have you just upgraded the front brakes, or do you think I should do the rear brakes as well? Maybe do braided lines or something like that, I don't know. And probably pads, but maybe not discs at this stage. So if anyone can give me some advice, that would be lovely. But yeah, the first big bill for the car. Yeah, like I said, definitely not something which I was anticipating or planning, but it's one of those things. The car is getting on a bit now, and well, yeah, we're on nearly 82,000 miles now, so it's yeah, I mean, it's not going to be driven loads. It's going to be driven loads on track, but I don't think it'll do many more road miles, to be honest, in my ownership or in its life, whichever one comes first. But yeah, now it's all systems go to get this thing where I want it to be, to make it a track weapon. So that is all to come. I thought I'd do this quick video just to kind of give you guys an update. The first big bill for the car, definitely not something which I was planning, but I want to keep you guys updated. It's going to be very much so a bit of a journey, this car, with all the modifications and undoubtedly everything which does go wrong. And now that the rear brakes have all been done, the car basically has a clean bill of health, which is lovely. Now, I think when the car goes into QST, Alex is going to do a service anyway. He has to uprate the oil that the car has, but like I mentioned earlier on in the video, I just wanted to get a stamp in the book, and just for VW to have a look around it for any issues like what has happened to be rectified. All in all, the car is, well, it's pretty mint really. I mean, the clutch is fine, although that's going to be uprated. The tyres are okay, but again, they're going to be uprated. Anything which needed to be done to the car for the long term has been done, basically. And to be honest, the main reason why I've gone for this car is because the service history was so good, and I do plan to keep that up. In fact, more so once the car has gone stage 3 and it's being driven a little bit harder than what it's used to. But I think for now, at least, that's probably going to wrap things up for me. Sorry, it's a little bit of a shorter video than normal, but like I mentioned, something which I just wanted to document, really, keep you updated with. Just one of those things. And yeah, I think probably the next time you'll see this car is probably when I drop it off to Alex for the stage 3, when everything does get very, very serious. So that's all to come. Very, very exciting times, and definitely something which you're going to want to keep an eye out for. But I think for now, at least, like I mentioned, that is it for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure you subscribe for all the adventures still to come.